This Justin Phillips fake. Welcome to the Brute Neighbors
How am I
podcast.
fake? It's because you can't keep a surprise. Hey, everybody, I'm Philip. Welcome to the Brute Neighbors podcast.
My name's Seth, by the way. We've got a great lineup for y'all. Just really stellar. Honestly, I'd be willing to say this is our best lineup yet. So what do we got today, Philip?
Oh, well, today, let me tell you, we have a fruit.
Fight against scurvy.
We have a wacky and wonderful film called Sorry to Bother You.
Literally my catchphrase in life.
Sorry to bother you with my existence. And a mystery subject, which Seth is bad at surprises, so I already know what it is.
Well, that's true. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to make all you loyal viewers now know what my surprise topic is. So
Yeah, you gotta inform the people, man. It's not just me. There's so
Exactly.
many other people here. At least 4 of you.
And boy, do we love the 4 of you passionately.
Oh yeah, y'all are great. Keep commenting, keep liking, and make your friends subscribe upon threat of death. Threaten to kill your friends if they don't like and subscribe.
What he said.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive right in, shall we? Fruit.
Fruit.
Like, grab that bowl of fruit.
I do like me a fruit bowl. Oh, wait, have you ever gotten a fruit basket?
Yes, I also know the anime fruit basket.
Oh, yeah. Love the anime. Great show.
You seen the anime?
I have seen the anime, yeah.
That surprises me. It's a good show.
My animes, it's very eclectic because I don't watch a lot of animes, but like that 7 Deadly Sins,
That's it.
That's it. Those are my animes.
I used to be really, really into anime as a kid, and then just kind of got out of it. But like, I've actually recently gotten into anime again. But like, my taste is incredibly eclectic because I like dark, edgy shit like Death Note and Darker Than Black, and action anime like Yu Yu Hakusho and Naruto, and then like shit like Fruits Basket and Hamtaro, like just and Digimon, like stuff that's just like not even the same ballpark.
Well, see, I don't know what it is, but I really like shows with like very defined mythos with like assigned categorization which lines up smoothly. Like for Fruit Basket, it's the Chinese zodiac. For 7 Deadly Sins, you have the 7 Deadly Sins. For Avatar, you have the 4 elements. Just stuff like that. Just really.
Hello, are you calling Avatar an anime?
I mean, a similar vein.
I'll take inspired by. I don't want to hear any more of that Avatar's an anime nonsense from you, Sonny.
Avatar is an anime.
Nope, that's incorrect.
First.
Nope, it is Western animation, stylized and inspired by a lot of anime and Asian culture.
So, is anime a style or a geographical marker?
It's mostly geographical.
Okay.
It's not really a genre because like you can have like Western shows that like are drawn in similar ways, but like they are not anime. Gotcha. Like anime has to be made in like Asian countries. Like a lot of people try to call Ruby the Rooster Teeth show an anime. It's made in Austin, Texas. It's not a fucking anime.
Well, little did you know, Austin, Texas is the anime capital of Texas. So.
I mean, Austin's pretty wacky, so I can see that.
Anyway, fruit.
Yeah, remember we were going to talk about fruit and then we talked about anime? You never know what you're going to get on this wild, wacky podcast. Keep you on your toes.
You never know with us. We're just all over the place.
You know what makes me irrationally angry?
What?
That, like, I know that tomatoes are a fruit.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, but I don't like that I was lied to as a child. I don't like the betrayal that I was told it was a vegetable.
Were you told that tomatoes?
Oh, yeah. That was incredibly common when I was a kid. Well, it was just like, yeah, tomatoes are a veggie. And then like I got to like maybe middle school aged, and then they're like, oh, actually it's technically a fruit. And then as I've gotten older, more people have like accepted it and come to terms with it. But like I just don't like that I was lied to. I don't appreciate the lies and deceit.
Well, okay, so I feel like there is definitely, I mean, there is a lot of gatekeeping on what people think of as a traditional fruit and not.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I mean, aren't technically cucumbers fruit?
yeah,
Which, like that in my head is
eating.
still a veggie. Like I can confidently call a tomato a fruit now. But
Yeah.
I, like even though
Well,
I know cucumbers are a fruit, I don't like it.
I think, well, I don't know, because I feel like American fruits, like fruits that are native to the Americas, are immediately like thought of as less than. Like your tomatoes, your pumpkins, your squash are like they're the redheaded stepchildren.
So
Um,
it's probably
I
out of racism then.
well, yeah, I
Well, then, like, I mean, is there like a fruit over veggie? Like, fruits are better than vegetables? Like, bias? Is there
I
fruitism?
I think it's kind of an implicit bias. Like I mean, obviously,
I mean, actually, it kind of makes sense in a way that there
yeah,
is a weird, like, taking out all other social factors or anything. Just the fact that like fruits are seen as like oh yeah, like you eat, keep an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Banana, like so many desserts have fruits in them, very sweet. Some people just eat fruits as dessert, and then vegetables are seen as this like, oh, you have to eat your vegetables. I know you don't like them, but you gotta go strong. And it's like I don't wanna.
I think you're onto something. I think there is a link between the sweetness of a fruit and whether or not people are immediately inclined to think of it as a fruit. Because you think of it, apples, bananas, strawberries, even pineapple, which is very like foreign to all the other fruits I just listed, but like no one would question it's a fruit. And
Yeah,
what do all of these things have in common? They are all very sweet. People will go out of their way to eat it. Whereas with pumpkins, tomatoes, all the zucchini, these are things that take a lot more effort. These are things that people have to put more work into to make it something that they really want to eat.
I think there's a connection there too, and I think that might be why a lot of them get lumped in with vegetables. Is that vegetables? A lot of the reason people don't like vegetables is because they haven't been fed vegetables that are cooked right. But that's the thing,
Well,
you have to
yeah,
cook vegetables typically to
yeah,
be
yeah.
good. There's a couple vegetables that are fine on their own, but
Hmm.
typically you need to cook vegetables or mix them with something to be really, really good.
Yes.
While fruit, like you can just eat a banana and go. That's all you need. It's just a single banana and it's tasty. But and I think maybe that's why people try to lump like tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff with vegetables is because they take more cooking and preparation typically, like vegetables, as
Yeah.
opposed to most fruits.
Man, that's so sad because there's so many like good vegetables.
We'll get to vegetables in another
But
podcast.
yeah, that's a whole different episode.
We got to stick on what's important,
Yes.
fruits. What is your favorite fruit?
I love all sorts of fruits. It would have to be pineapple though.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
So I,
interesting.
as a kid, I used to not be able to stand pineapple because all I would ever have it as was those like diced chunks of pineapple you would get in a can, which is
Uh-huh.
not real pineapple. I mean, it is real pineapple, but
Well,
it's
we're
so
pineapple
processed.
gatekeeping now.
Yeah. But if you have fresh pineapple, which I didn't have till I was in high school, it's just so fresh. It's got such a nice texture. The sugary sweetness just
Wait, did you
oozes.
say you didn't have fresh pineapple till high school?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I never had it.
That's wild. You didn't eat eggs till you were in like
Yeah, I
college. You
also
didn't eat
didn't have eggs
pineapple.
till I was in college, so
Were you just locked in a basement and fed like nothing but lentils?
essentially.
Oh no. Explains a lot.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, pineapples are also cool to prepare. Like you have this thing that looks like it shouldn't be edible. You just pull out a big knife, carve off the edges, and it's this big, golden ovoid of deliciousness.
It's a lot like me. If you stick a knife in me, past my rough exterior, you see inside there's warmth and also death, because I would die if you stabbed me.
Yeah, I
Much like a
can
pineapple.
confirm. If I stabbed you, you would die.
But you'd see my golden insides.
True. So true.
It's actually a medical condition. I should seek help. It's supposed to be red.
So your blood is, what you're telling me is your blood is yellow.
Yes, I may be an alien or a bug or both. Alien bugs. That's a thing too.
Ooh.
Starship Troopers.
This just in, Philip is an alien bug.
Bleh. That's what alien bugs sound like.
Very good. Very convincing.
I know because I am one.
So what's your favorite fruit, Philip?
Oh, it's a good podcast already. Instinctively I want to say strawberries, so I'm going to say strawberries.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
like strawberries are my favorite. Like strawberries on their own are quite tasty. It's also my favorite like flavoring of other things is strawberry.
Yeah.
Like strawberry cheesecake, strawberry milkshake, strawberry like flavored drinks and sodas. God, there's so many things. Strawberry, everything, man. Strawberry's great. Like I have yet to find anything strawberry that I didn't like.
You know what I've just realized that I'm really into?
What?
Is bananas and like banana flavored things. Because I mean,
Banana.
I've been eating bananas my whole life, but I just like recently really got into banana Laffy Taffy, which is controversial. But banana bread, I
That's really good.
okay. So I had this idea recently. I haven't done too much research into it, but I thought about a banana beer, like a beer with banana notes, and that sounds weird, but I feel like it could be good. If that's a thing, please tell me in the comments.
It probably is somewhere, but the thing is, fruit flavored beers are typically not great because just the process of making beer doesn't really allow for fruit to really like for actual real fruit to like be part of the process.
I mean, you got
So
ciders.
cider, yeah, that's not beer though. Cider is
I
its own
mean,
thing. It's a different process.
very similar.
But like one is built around the fruit itself. Beer is completely wheat based, and it's two different processes.
I guess.
Have you taken the Jack Daniel's distillery tour? Because
I
I
have
have
not. That's true.
many a time.
Why have you been to the Jack Daniel's distillery tour so many times?
My parents really loved it. Like that's not even a joke. That's just real.
Okay.
That's just real. I don't take that however the fuck you want. That's just real. My dream is to just fall into one of the vats of beer that they make him in and just die drunk. That's how that would work, right? It's not, I obviously wouldn't, just drown immediately before alcohol had a chance to hit my bloodstream.
That reminds me of this. I think I can't remember if it was Cold Case or some other cop show when I was a kid, and one episode where a guy drowned himself in melted chocolate.
Oh no.
That was gross. That was sad.
That's actually how they make the chocolate Santa bars.
Ooh, okay. I wondered why they tasted so good.
Yeah, there's some entrails in there. You thought you were a vegetarian.
So fruit.
Oh, this is a wild one already. I'm liking this. And we haven't even gotten to fucking sorry to bother you yet.
Oh my gosh. Philip, you trouble me. You have problems. You have certifiable problems.
Oh, 100%. I'm a fucking basket case, dude, and not the Green Day song.
What's the basket filled with, Philip? Fruit.
I was gonna say broken hopes and dreams.
Well, that too.
It's nestled in between the blueberries and the blackberries.
right there in the middle.
Blueberries, broken dreams, blackberries.
So, that's something I really like about fruit is going to an orchard to pick fruit. Well, I mean, obviously this isn't a universal experience, but around me, we had a bunch of orchards where, like, depending on the season, you could pick different things like peaches, apples, raspberries, blackberries, pumpkin patches to go get your pumpkin. And
Yeah.
that's a very fun experience. It's very much I mean, it's kind of like rural tourism.
I mean, kinda.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I think that might be part of why I like strawberries so much. Is because like I don't think we ever went like orchard apple picking or anything like that. But I
yeah,
remember there was a couple of times we did as a kid go to like strawberry fields and like pick strawberries and stuff, and we got to
yeah,
like fill up a little bucket, and whatever we filled up, we just took home and got to
yeah,
snack
yeah.
on. It was nice. It was charming. And I've picked up pumpkins and stuff at in the fall times.
Never been vegetable picking.
Well, I mean, I just did that as a kid as a chore.
Ah, well,
Roll Tide. What was that? That's just a normal part of a lot of Southern children's lives. I wasn't
for
a
sure.
fan of it, but yeah, it was a thing.
Well,
I hate gardening. I hate it so much.
southern kids make do.
What does that mean?
Never mind.
Did you say the make do thing to me earlier today, or was that someone else? Where did this phrase come from?
Oh, okay. So,
Because someone else said that to me
okay,
like today.
off video. What I was thinking when I said that was there's this picture that circulated online where it's a girl implying that this girl has just masturbated with an ear of corn, and it's like Southern
Ah,
girls make do.
so we can keep that in the podcast.
Sure, why not?
What's your favorite fruit to masturbate with?
So you have seen Call Me by Your Name.
I haven't actually. Wow,
I
spoiler. No, I knew that.
neither have
Have you
I.
seen American
I
Pie?
have no desire to ever watch Call Me by Your Name.
Have you seen American Pie?
I have no desire to. Well, okay, I
He
actually do kind of want to see American
it's
Pie.
humorous at times, but yeah, no, he spoilers. Fucks an apple pie.
That's not what they're for, Philip.
I mean, yeah, warm and gooey, man. This is the new. Would you fucking elf? Would you fucking apple pie?
So you should eat fruit because it prevents against scurvy.
But don't put your dick in fruit
Don't
because it doesn't do anything good
that
for
that
you.
that will not protect you from scurvy. Oh, fun fact, by the way, if you do not eat your fruit and you get scurvy, like with scurvy, your body can't keep making the chemical that like that heals your wounds. So all the scars you have ever gotten in your entire life will just reopen back up.
Ooh, we love
And
that.
and that is why you eat your fruit.
So you don't become gross and die.
So you don't turn into a zombie. Yeah.
What if I want to be a zombie? A fruit zombie.
That's personal choice.
It's like Plants vs Zombies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tied it all in.
That was
Technically
a game.
related. I enjoyed those games, honestly. They're fun.
I never played it. I just kind of thought they looked weird.
I honestly give it a go. You can still get it for free on the App Store. It's a fun time. It's a fun little like mini strategy game. Like it's not like super in depth, but it's fun. It's casual. It's nice. It's a good time. Pro Plants vs Zombies. So that's what we were talking about, not fruit.
Yeah, correct.
You know what fruit gets a bad rep?
What?
Blackberries.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone have anything negative to say about blackberries, but I do feel like they're a very underrated fruit.
I've heard a lot of people say it's like their least favorite fruit because like a
Really?
lot of them because like they're definitely a different flavor because it's like
Yeah.
they can be kind of bitter but also still kind of sweet too in a weird way. So that's a weird mixture. But like I like it, and like blackberry syrup like on pancakes is
Yeah.
fucking golden. I love blackberry syrup.
I love blackberries. I think they're great. Blackberry pancakes too. Marionberry pancakes. That's like a Northwest thing. But
Yeah, I don't know
I
what that
had
is.
them when I went to Oregon one time, and they're stellar.
You're stellar. Get wrecked.
Aw, stop.
What?
But like blackberry ice cream is top notch too. I feel like that's also very underrated.
See, I'm not a big fruit ice cream guy. Outside of like I will fuck up a strawberry banana milkshake.
Mhm.
But
Oh, I
like just
love me some strawberry banana milkshakes.
strawberry banana is the most beautiful combination of anything in the world. That
Oh
is
yeah,
that is the power couple of fruit is strawberry banana. People like to
agreed.
combine like I feel like in media you see like pictures of apples and bananas together, but like what food has apples and bananas together that tastes good?
That's a good point. I can't name you any.
Strawberries and bananas though. Fucking strawberry banana ice cream, strawberry banana milkshakes. I think I've had strawberry banana cheesecake before. I've had
Mhm.
banana bread with strawberry chunks in it, and it was mwah, golden. They are the fruit power couple. I will fight anybody on that.
Well, you know what my least favorite fruit is?
What is it?
Blueberries.
What? Blueberries are
Okay,
good.
so yeah, here's my thing is a lot of people have the same reaction that you just had. But I really don't understand what the hype around blueberries are. They have a weird taste. They have a weird texture. They're just I don't think they're
Okay,
very good.
blueberries are on their own. I still like them, but like I can see like what's not to like about them on their own. But like
Yeah.
I had a blueberry cheesecake milkshake the other day, and it was fucking amazing. I think it's one of
I
those things where if you
I
pair it with
do
something sweeter, it works better.
I do like blueberry muffins are awesome.
Ooh,
That
oh
that's
yeah,
the best kind of muffin. Uh,
agreed.
blueberry pancakes also good, but blueberries themselves can't do it.
Yeah, I think blueberries. I think that's kind of what it is. Is they pay fuck they pair better as a secondary flavor.
Yeah,
And like because blueberry pie, I love blueberry pie, and like even then like that's still mostly the flavor of blueberries, but there's enough of like the sweet crust and stuff to kind of give it enough of an edge to tie it all together.
yeah.
My least favorite fruit is coconut because coconut is disgusting.
You're disgusting, and
True,
I can't stand your guts.
but when was the last time you just ate straight coconut?
I mean, never.
It's disgusting. And you know what else is disgusting? Those shitty coconut flakes that they put on every fucking sweet and ruin every fucking
I
sweet.
love coconut flakes.
You are a heathen and a
Coconut is
monster.
awesome. Okay,
Coconut is
coconut,
terrible.
Malibu, pina coladas, macaroons, Mounds
Macaroons,
bars,
gross.
almond joys,
Gross.
all amazing.
Gross, gross, gross. The only good thing in there you said, I can fuck with some Malibu, but that's about it.
Okay. Also, Mounds bars, super underrated candy. Love Mounds. Wish Mounds was milk chocolate. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, just eat an almond joy. But then I have to eat around. Well, I mean, then I have to deal with the flavor of almond with my milk chocolate coconut.
Hmm.
And I mean, I like almonds okay, but that's just a third thing that I didn't need.
It's too much. It's overwhelming. There's too many. Three flavors is just too much, you very white man.
It's too spicy. Almond joy is too spicy.
It's like, can I get some mild almond joys, please? This one is just too spicy. Oh Jesus.
We
Fuck.
haven't mentioned citrus yet.
I like okay. Limes I've never really fucked with, but not really out of like a personal choice. Just they just don't appear in my life much.
Okay.
Lemons. Well, lemons are another thing that I like. I think are kind of garbage on their own, but like with other things can be really really good. Like some
Yeah.
lemon cookies are really yummy. Depending on the day, I can fuck with some lemonade.
Oh, I love lemonade. Lemonade.
See,
See, I say lemonade's always great.
it depends on how you make it, because some people make it too sour. I need that
Yeah.
sweet shit. Pour that sugar in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I can't do the sour lemonade. Like pink lemonade's underrated. I like pink
Oh
lemonade.
yeah.
I don't know what other flavor they add in there other than like food coloring, but
I
like
I imagine it's got to be like strawberry or something.
You think so?
I would say
Is that,
probably strawberry.
let's research this. What is pink lemonade? Because that would explain a lot. What is the pink and pink lemonade? Okay, so apparently it's depending on who makes it. Sometimes it's with cranberry juice. Sometimes it's with raspberry juice. Sometimes it's with strawberries. But a lot of times it's with red fruit dye.
Okay,
So
that's
it
interesting.
really just depends.
I fucks with some cranberry juice heavy.
I don't hate cranberry juice, but like it doesn't really do anything for me.
Okay.
It's just kind of, I feel like I associate it with like that and prune juice are kind of in the same category for me. Like that's like
Okay,
a like
I can
50-year-old person's drink.
I can see how you have that connection, but also they're two completely different juices. Like cranberry juice is just a sweet juice with like a little fun twang to it.
Like
Prune
cranberry
juice,
juice is what you drink like before a surgery or like after a surgery.
yeah.
It's like it's not something you just drink casually typically. It's like you
Yeah.
drink it because like, man, I'm constipated, or man, I got that surgery next week. I need to be slightly healthier. Like it's medicine.
Well, I imagine it helps you have a regular bowel movement.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You gotta. Sometimes you just gotta. I mean, that's part of why I don't like prune juice. It's because I had to drink some as a kid for stuff, and
I'm
you had to get the works moving.
I'm certain I've eaten a prune before, or I'm certain I've eaten a plum before, but I couldn't tell you what it tasted like, and I don't think it left a positive impression.
I want to. Yeah, like I don't think it was I had a negative reaction. But I don't remember what a
Yeah,
plum tastes like.
grapes. We haven't talked about grapes.
Grape flavored things are great.
Yes.
Grape, what gets a bad rap? Grape soda, and I don't know why.
Well,
Grape
okay.
soda is
So
amazing.
I did not discover this until I moved to the South, and I mean, it is like it is something that is non-existent outside of the South. But Grapico is the nectar of the gods.
You're not wrong.
And I did not drink it enough while I was down there, and I'm sad about that.
Like I don't, for some reason, grape soda gets a lot of hate here in the South, even though
Yeah.
like it's apparently only a Southern thing or mostly. But like it's so good, man. I love grape flavored things. Grapes on their own are fine. They're very snackable, but like I don't really go out of my way for grapes often. And I feel like grapes are harder to put in like other foods. Like I don't think I've ever had a grape flavored milkshake. Because I feel like they just don't have a
Yeah.
strong enough flavor to really
Well,
do much.
I feel like a lot is made out of grapes, but you're right. There isn't like a lot of like it's it's not.
A lot of
This,
juices have grapes in them, but like desserts don't really have grapes. I feel like.
yeah, I would say that's correct. But I mean, like you got wine, you got
Yeah.
grape juice, you got grape jelly.
Oh yeah, grape jelly is great.
Well, and it's weird because eating grapes, I can really only eat green grapes, but grape juice and grape grape juice and grape uh why am I blanking?
Jelly.
Jelly. I can
Well
only
done.
eat, or I can only drink purple grape juice.
Hmm.
I don't think grape jelly comes in green.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Not that I've seen at least. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Grapes are interesting. They're a mystery.
Yeah.
Um.
Clementines. Clementines
Oh yeah.
are a close. They're definitely my top three. They're so easy to snack on, particularly like I don't know if these are officially clementines, but in that same sort of vein, the cuties from the store, just
Hmm.
so easy to peel. Just like have one as I'll eat that as a snack. If I have a basket of them, I'll just pull at those all day long.
Yeah. See, I'm not a huge. I feel like I'm not a big citrus guy in general. Like I don't hate citrus by any means.
Yeah,
And I'll eat them and stuff. But like, it's just one of those things I won't really go out of my way for. Like, if someone like offers me an orange or a clementine, like, hey, you hungry? Do you wanna have one? I'll be like, yeah, sure, why not? but like I'm not really gonna go out of my way to get them.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm like that with a lot of fruits. The only fruits I'll just actually buy is like bananas, strawberries, blueberries, and sometimes grapes if I'm feeling them.
Mm-hmm.
Like most other ones, I'm just like, whatever. Like I'll, if they're mixed in with something, I might, grab that. But like typically, I'm just like, there's only a handful of fruits that are like my mainstays.
Yeah.
But it is important to put the lime in the coconut and
Shake
mix
it
them
all
both
up.
up. Yeah, shake them all up, mix them all up. Either one, take your pick.
You can really do either.
Yeah, either one works. Just gotta make sure you do it. As long as you put the lime in the coconut, that's the important base step.
I prefer my lime and coconut shaken, not stirred.
Doctor.
Is this a Beetlejuice thing?
That's just the song. That's the song.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Doctor. She sings. It's like I got a bellyache. I said, Doctor, is there something I can take? Put the lime in the. It's literally the whole song is literally just like this person has like some kind of ailment, and the doctor is just annoyed because it's the middle of the night. She's like, "Fuck you! Just get a lime and a coconut and be better."
Is that song originally from Beetlejuice, or was it a
No,
different
no, no,
thing
no,
in it?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's from like the 40s or something.
Okay.
I forgot it was even in Beetlejuice. Wait, is it in Beetlejuice?
It might not be.
I
I
don't.
might have
That
just
doesn't
made
sound
that up.
right. Are you thinking you're thinking that other song that they sing at like the dinner table?
Yeah, you're right. I'm probably thinking about that.
Yeah, no, I lime and the coconut is its own thing. I'm sure it's been in movies, but
Harry Nielsen apparently did the most famous version of it.
yeah,
Oh, it was originally first recorded by Harry Nilsson. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Doctor, I said doctor.
Yeah, but Harry Nilsson's also got like a lot of very strange and eclectic songs. Have you ever
Strange
heard
and
the
eclectic.
Puppy song?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's not the Dead Puppy song, is it?
No, no. He's like it's essentially just like this guy gets a dog and they're best friends, but then he goes to a place that says no dogs allowed, and it's heartbreaking,
Oh
and then
no.
it's like a repeat of that, but instead of saying dog, he's like friends, and signs that say no friends allowed because
What
dogs.
the fuck kind of a what?
I'm reading too much into it. It's a good song. Um,
What the fuck kind of establishment is just like, no, you can only come by yourself. No friends. What? Jesus. It's like, no, we will isolate you.
COVID.
Oh God. No friends allowed. Except
Oh
the
no.
friends we've made along the way here on the Brute Neighbors podcast. All of our listeners, you're our friends.
What if the brute neighbors
Don't
were
know.
the friends we
I
made
know.
along
God
the way?
damn it. Should have known. I tempted fate. I tempted fate. I brought it up. I brought it upon this podcast. I'm sorry.
You didn't do that to yourself.
What if? What if? We can only wonder. We can only imagine.
I mean, we may never know.
You know what else we may never know are if we're pro or anti fruit because we're really just on a tangent.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pro food. I'll come
I'm
out and
pro
say it.
fruit.
Pro food.
I'm pro
I'm
fruit.
sorry. I'm sorry. I slur my words. Ooh, I'm Phillip, big man. Make fun of a speech impediment.
Don't pull a fucking speech impediment card. I've got more of a stammer than you. Blah, blah,
I
blah, blah,
feel
blah.
like we're pretty even on our stammer.
Remember that time two generic white guys with stammers decided to make a podcast?
It was a great time. Really great time.
You know how we want to plan like our entire future for our channel based on audio only things?
Honestly, great plan.
What could go wrong? It's just two people with a stammer trying to make audio only content. I am also pro food. I'm pro food.
You're pro food.
I'm pro food.
By the
Yeah,
way,
no, fruit's really good. Shut the fuck up.
anyway, sorry to bother you.
We done with fruit? All
I'm
right.
sorry to bother you, but I
About your
think we're done
fruit.
with fruit.
I'm also pro fruit. Fruit is quite tasty. Yum yum yum. We'll do vegetables in another week. The sequel.
Look forward to vegetables coming to a podcast near you.
Yeah, it's actually the other podcast.
That's actually going to be our second series.
It's just vegetables.
Every single episode is just a different vegetable.
Yeah. And oh man, I was gonna try and make a very dark joke. I'll make it, and then we'll cut it if it's too dark. My favorite vegetable, the one we do on the last episode of the podcast, is Terry Schiavo. Is that still relevant? There was only like
I
a
don't
decade and
know
a half
who
ago.
that is.
It's a very famous
I'm sure
coma
it's
case.
somebody. I'm sure it's somebody who's suffered a great accident.
Oh yeah, no, it was like a huge news story in like the late 2000s of this woman who was in a coma, and it became a huge news thing about like euthanasia, like if they should pull the plug or not. It became a huge legal debate.
Yeah. Okay. I think that might be too dark. I don't
See,
think
but
the
now
okay.
I've
No, I
explained.
don't
Now
think
it's
the
educational.
euthanasia. Look, I don't think the euthanasia is too dark. I think it's the fact that like this is a random woman who had no ability to consent to people talking about her is a little
Yeah.
too much.
Oh well, I mean, you missed the mid
I mean,
to late 2000s. It was all Terry Schiavo jokes, brother.
yeah, but we don't have to give in to that. We don't have to.
See now, oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave it in so now people can learn from my mistake
Okay, fine.
and how terrible of a human I am.
So sorry to bother you.
Starring Terry Schiavo. Yeah. Sorry to bother you. I saw it in theaters actually when it first came out.
Really?
Yeah, I went in completely blind. I didn't know anything about it other than, by the way, spoilers for Sorry to Bother You. If you've not seen it, please go watch it and don't be spoiled by this podcast. This is very much a movie that you should go into blind. You should not look up anything about it before watching it. Please go into it blind. Pause this podcast, go watch it, come back. Spoilers for Sorry to Bother You. But yeah, when I went to it, the only thing, like I had looked it up just to like look up the runtime or whatever, because I didn't know how long the movie was going to be. And I saw it said sci-fi as one of the genres, and I was like, what? Because the trailer just makes it look like a goofy little like comedy. You know, has some commentary on racism and stuff. But I was like, where'd the sci-fi come from? And then when I when I was in the theater, I was just waiting for it. I was like, where's the sci-fi going to come in? And then the horse dick showed up. And I was like, oh, that's the sci-fi. Ah.
Yeah, okay. That was unexpected. Like I mean, I knew it was going to be weird when he walked into that bathroom, but I didn't realize how weird it was going to get.
What did you think was going to happen in that scene? Where did you think it was going?
Okay, well, first I thought he was going to like it was a bunch of shower stalls. So I was getting flashbacks to Schindler's List. I thought it was going to be like a gas chamber. And then when he gets to the bathroom stall and he sees like a hulking figure behind it, I figured it was just, I thought it was just going to be, I didn't know where exactly it was going to go, but I assumed it was going to be a regular person who like had gone crazy or something like that.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I know you just watched it for the first time, the past day or two, right?
Yeah.
And then like I rewatched it earlier this week so I could talk about it more freshly on the podcast. Other than the plate that he snorts the cocaine off, I don't think there's any like blatant foreshadowing to horses.
Yeah, well, and I noticed the horse plate, and I thought that was strange. Like my mind took a note of that. Like, okay, horses are gonna be important, but I was not. I was completely floored on how it happened, and I mean it's a pretty heavy-handed metaphor there that these people are workhorses. But I mean it works.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like I think the movie works like because you're right, there are some very blatant heavy-handed messages there in that film, but I think it works because it knows it's being heavy-handed. It's not trying to be subtle. It's very much trying to beat you over the head with these messages.
You said it right. It is hitting you over the head. But not so much that it is too much. Like, it works what it does, but it is trying to make it very clear what it is
Yeah.
saying. And
It's
I mean,
making a very
just look at
bold
the
statement.
girlfriend's earrings. The girlfriend's earrings will usually tell you exactly what you need to know at any given point.
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, I think that's clever. Like I think that's how
Yeah.
you do very bold political films like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Is like because like people don't like feeling preached to, but
Yeah.
like I feel like this film wasn't even doing that. It was just saying, yeah, this is our message. Here it is. You either like it or you don't. Here's some horse sticks.
I agree.
Like, and I think it was so like it was both so bold and forward, but yet so wacky and charming too.
Yeah.
That like, because I mean, like the whole film, even before the horse sticks, you've got like the white guy voice and the power
Yeah.
collars and that whole arc is weird in its own right.
Well,
It's very strange, but like,
all all I knew about the movie going into it was the white person voice. That
mhm,
it was this black guy who was a telemarketer, and he learned that if he put on a white voice, he'd be more successful. And I was very surprised at. I mean, like, that's a big plot point, but I was surprised at how, like, small it was in the grand scheme of things.
yeah, like because I feel like a lot of movies I'd say would fall into the trap of that would be their only premise, and
Yeah,
that's just the entire film. And sometimes that works. Sometimes if one basic premise, you can make an entire film out of that. Sure, but I think what Sorry to Bother You did right is that it's like it has that, but it's not just attacking one issue. Like it's attacking capitalism, racism, what people will do for money, what they'll
yeah.
give up, how far, what their moral lines are. Art, as you know, with the girlfriend, like it tackles like what art, like woke art does and doesn't do, right, and like it tackles a lot of issues. Yet it never feels. It's not like Crash, where I felt like it was too spread out
Yeah.
with all the issues it tackled. Like I think it had the right balance of just tackling all these issues just enough to feel like they still had a complete statement on all of them while still forming a complete narrative.
Well, and while Crash, and I mean, we have differing opinions on Crash, but while Crash was very nebulous and it was like everything's connected, but here's all these different separate things. I mean, Sorry to Bother You focused on all these different issues, but that very cohesively blended together. Like, they were all related to each other at every step of the way.
Yeah, there were no loose ends.
Yeah,
And like another point of like literally the protagonist's name is Cash is Green.
yeah.
like they weren't being subtle, but that wasn't the point of the film to be subtle. Also, I love Lakeith Stanfield,
Oh,
amazing actor.
yeah. No, I think he is incredible. What was I watching recently? Knives Out that he was
Yeah,
in. I've
yeah,
also seen him a bunch in Atlanta and love him from there.
yeah. He's great in Atlanta, Knives Out. He has a small role in Get Out.
Yeah.
He's been kind of blown up lately, and I'm glad. He's a very talented actor.
Oh yeah.
I hope to see him in more things coming
Well,
up.
I was amazed because I don't know anything behind the production of this movie. And it was obviously a very high quality production, but and I'm pretty sure it saw a wide release, but it definitely feels like an indie film.
Oh well,
And
it
yet,
is.
yeah, but yet it has such a star-studded cast. I mean, you had Tessa Thompson, you had Terry Crews, you had Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Just
Well, I think Tessa Thompson and Lakeith Stanfield, I don't think they'd blown up yet when this came out. I think this was like
okay.
right at the cusp of them blowing up. Danny
Yeah.
Glover obviously is a big name, but he's also not really an actor that like he's not like Chris Evans. Like people are gonna go see a movie just for Danny Glover.
Well, not. I mean,
Maybe
not
or at least
anymore.
now.
He's kind
Yeah,
of
now.
a has been. I hate to say that about Danny Glover because
whoa.
he's an incredible actor, and
I thought I was the one who shit talked celebrities on this
that's
podcast.
not shit talking. That's just me just saying.
No, wow. Danny Glover, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. Which I know you are. I know Danny Glover is one of our 16
Yes.
subscribers.
Look, okay, Danny Glover, I really do. I love you. I'm so sorry.
He called you a has-been.
Anyway,
But yeah, yeah, no, I honestly I forgot until I was rewatching it that Terry Crews is in it. It's a very minor role,
yeah.
but just, I mean, it's fine. Like, you didn't need
Well,
him.
and it's weird because I feel like he is the most famous slash relevant actor in this movie.
Yeah,
That is both like whereas like Keith Stanfield and Tessa Thompson are both relevant right now, and Danny Glover is very famous. Like Terry Crews is the
right in the
best of both
middle.
worlds, and
Yeah,
he is like barely in the movie.
yeah. But like, I'm kind of glad that like I feel like if this was like, because like, like he Stanfield and Tessa Thompson, especially now, are pretty well known, and like they were starting to get known around this
Yeah,
time. But I mean, honestly, I think like Keith Stanfield, when this came out, had really only been in Get Out, and I think the first season of Atlanta was out. I think
yeah,
that was about it. I could be wrong, but like this was like, I mean, I think this was his first lead role in a film. But like, I'm kind of glad that they didn't like try and shoehorn a more famous celebrity in, because I feel like that would have been distracting from just how fucking bonkers this plot was. Like, I feel like you needed, like, this movie already needed a high level of suspension of disbelief. If you like saw like, oh yeah, Terry Crews is going through all that, you would think of Terry Crews just going through weird shit the whole time. You wouldn't
yeah,
be as involved in the plot and like, whoa, wow, Cash is going through this shit. Cash is having a wild ride. Like, you would be thinking of the actor the entire time.
yeah.
So I think it definitely benefited from having someone who, at least at the time, was not as famous and well known.
You know what I was expecting the whole time? And
What?
by the whole time, I mean like the last 30 minutes. Was after, well, I was expecting the union organizer guy. I forget his name.
Yeah.
I was expecting him for a while to be like a turncoat, to just kind of be a plant.
Uh
And
huh.
especially when the head of the company, I forget what it's called, the slavery company,
Worry free.
Worry Free, yeah, when he is telling, gosh, I can't, why can't I remember anybody's names? Who's the main? Oh, Cassius. When he's telling
Cash
Cassius,
is green.
It's right there on the label. When he's telling him that you'll be the MLK of the horse people, I was expecting that to be foreshadowing of, okay, so the union organizer is going to be a plant from him to essentially keep the telephone workers pacified. And
I will.
it doesn't completely hold up because there's no reason why they would want them to be on strike, but I don't know.
I mean, see, actually, I kind of a similar mindset. I didn't think the union organizer had anything to do with it, but
Hmm.
I did expect like the ending. The ending ended a lot happier than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I
What I
agree.
expected it to go was, so like the boss man of Worry Free is like, I want you to infiltrate and be, the MLK of these what were they called? Were they called equestrians, or it was something like that?
Equisapiens.
Equisapiens, that's what it was. Yeah, I want you to be the MLK of these Equisapiens. I expected when Cassius is like, yeah, no, fuck this, and then he ends up trying to reveal everything. I kind of expected like the second plot twist to be that this was the boss man's plan all along, and for him to like accidentally end up becoming this MLK of the Equisapiens, kind of his own choice, like kind of
Yeah,
manipulating him to do that. And
I,
I was
I
surprised it didn't go that direction.
I had the same thought as you because I especially when he was on the talk shows, like we
Yeah.
are
Oh
the
yeah.
horse people. I was like, wait, he is the MLK of the horse people. Is he? Well, and what I thought it was going to be was I thought we were going to have a cut back to the next day and show him deciding that the money, like, he was going to work for the guy.
Oh, see, I never expected him to willingly work for the guy. I expected him to like accidentally be like a pawn in his plan
Yeah,
to get like to work things out.
yeah.
But and then like I honestly it still could have gone that way until that like not quite after credit scene because it happened right after the movie ended. But like when they busted down the house, I was like, well, I guess that wasn't what they're going for now. Then when they like busted into his house and shit.
Yeah. Well,
Like I honestly I think if they had left it at him like the reveal that he was turning into one of them and just left it there, I honestly think that would have been a stronger ending personally. But
I think it would have been a stronger ending, but me being the sap that I am, appreciated the ending of him as a horse person going to beat the shit out of the guy.
like I don't know, I feel like we didn't need that. Like I mean, like I like the ambiguity. Am I saying it right?
Ambiguity.
There we go. I can word. I am pro fruit throwback to 10 minutes ago. But like I don't know, I like kind of ambiguous endings. Like not every movie needs one, but like I felt like this one would have served better with an ambiguous ending. Like I don't know, I just like I think them like just we didn't need that. We had the ending. Things were kind of okay. Like things ended pretty well already, but then he turned into an Ecosapien. That should have been the end of it. We still had our happy ending, except the darker twist of he actually is becoming an Ecosapien. But there's still the questions of okay, maybe this can still be okay and work out for him because they already made these strives towards making sure the Equisapiens were treated well.
Well, and I thought before that after credits scene, I did kind of think that I when it just showed him hitting his head and starting to turn into an Equisapien, I thought that was kind of like ambiguous. Like I took that as, oh, this is so surreal that we don't know if with the plot of the rest of the movie if he's actually turning into a horse or if it's just like just sort of him being crazy or just sort of the craziness of the situation. And I felt like it was kind of the end of Inception, where you kind of know what's happening, but you don't really know.
I think like most things that happened in this movie were real, though.
Yeah.
The only possible exception would be, I would say, the initial telemarketing scenes where he's like flying into their living room.
Well, yeah, it just, I don't know, it just kind of felt like so surreal that it felt like it wouldn't really have any lasting consequence. Whereas when they showed that after credits scene where he is a horse person, then it's like, okay, so he went through this transformation. I know what happened to him.
Yeah, I guess like I would have rather not know what happened to him. I like that mystery of like what was his life like after he became this, like after he he was so adamant about not being one, he was so scared of it, but he also made all these strives for the Equisapiens, and now he has still become one. What are the implications of that? I like analyzing that in my head. I don't want to be told after that, like, oh yeah, actually this is how it ends. And it's like I didn't need that. I want to analyze it in my head. I want to wrestle with it and think of the implications. Like and maybe that's just like the writer in me, but like I love kind of coming up with my own, like, oh well, what if he did this, this, and this after the fact? It's like, but then like that was the end. The movie ended, and then I felt like they kind of fucked with that ending by having that after credit scene.
I was very interested in the world of the movie because it's got a very post-apocalyptic feel. Just sort of like not post-apocalyptic as in like the world is falling apart, but just everything is just a little worse than it is now. Kind of like just very these are bad examples, but kind of like Children of Men or Escape from New York, where it's not too different, but just like people are in worse living conditions. People are living more paycheck to paycheck. But I mean, that is also, that is also the reality for how a lot
Yeah,
of people in our world live. It's
I,
just
I was
we
about to
don't usually get
say,
that authentic of a representation
yeah.
in
See,
film.
I was gonna say like your post-apocalyptic comment kind of confused me because like I mean I get what you're saying, but like for me this just felt like a very realistic film. Like I mean obviously
Well,
there's weird shit. I'm obviously not getting into horror dicks, but
yeah,
like I mean the like I've seen it in hell. I mean maybe not some of these extremes, but I've lived in some of these similar places
yeah,
uh and like how the vending machine's broken or like oh you gotta pay to get all this the car is fuming and like you have to manually do the windshield wipers. Like I've seen that shit. Like
yeah,
that's real to me. And a lot of it is perspective, but like I mean outside of the really wacky shit like I felt like the director Boots Riley did a very good job of keeping it very real. Like yes there were sci-fi and weird wacky elements, but like honestly I feel like he really captured the struggle that so many people go through every day, and I think that is so important to the plot and themes is because that set up how much of an internal debate Cassius had when it came to these moral decisions of how far am I willing to sacrifice my morals to have a better life?
yeah.
Where is the line? And the line wasn't until he thought he himself might be personally affected,
Well,
which is
I
interesting
think
because he was literally he admitted to selling basically slave labor. It
yeah,
wasn't until the horse stuff that he finally said, "Here's my line," and that's only because he thought he might be one.
I think what probably is giving me like the sort of view of the movie that I have is just the absence of a middle class represented in the movie. That there is just working class people, and then there is the very rich, and there is
Mm-hmm.
no in between in the movie. I
I
mean,
mean, America's getting there.
well, yeah, well, it felt to me like essentially what America would look like in 10 years with completely with the unchecked capitalism that we have going on right now.
Yeah, because I think it's even. I'm pretty sure it was set in the year it was released. I think they said like
I think that's
references to
true.
the recent years. So I want to say it was contemporary or thereabouts. And I think honestly, like yeah, there definitely was maybe a
Well,
little bit of an extreme play
I mean,
there, but
worry free is not something we see today. Like I mean that's probably the most glaring difference. Stuff like that does exist. Like
mhm.
that is out there, but that is probably the most glaring. Like that is not something that is
Yeah,
it's more worry free is more acts more of just kind of a metaphor for people who essentially sell their life to labor right now. Although, unfortunately, slavery is very real
mhm.
in both this country and particularly around the world.
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing about this film is that again, as over the top as some things can be, it's all rooted in a very real, unfortunate truth. And that, yeah, because like literally, like I mean, Terry Crews's character is at a point of like he just couldn't afford anything anymore. He's like, well, I mean, yeah, they feed you,
Yeah,
me, my wife, and kids will be fed, and I'll have a roof over my head, and I might not have that. And that's a really real worry for a lot of people in America.
I I did. There was a point of watching the movie where I wondered if that could almost be taken as if worry free could the choice to join worry free could be taken as an allegory towards going to prison. I think that's a very well.
I don't think
Well,
so.
I
I
mean,
don't see it personally.
it's the same concept. You're subjecting yourself. I mean, there are people who will take the shitty conditions of prison to know they have a place to sleep at night, to know they will be fed every single meal.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess I feel like I was seeing it as more of a on the wider scale.
Well, and I think it is like that is part of it, but I'm just saying that that crossed my mind as a potential other sort of lens to view it as.
You know what, mate? I kind of like it if Amazon ran prisons.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's like the weird, like if prison labor joined forces with Amazon, which honestly, I scarily could see that happening.
Well, it something that I was watching while I was watching the movie was I wondered if prisons rented out their prisoners to worry free, because that is something that happens today in
In the real
America.
world, yeah.
And I mean, I mean, almost certainly with the shady stuff that worry free was up to, I'm sure a sizable amount of their population was just could have been them going to prisons and be like part of the prison industrial complex.
I mean, yeah. I mean, really. I mean, the more you say it, the more I can kind of see at the very least a parallel of yeah. Like I mean, I mean, our prisons are pretty fucked because like they didn't say that there. Well, I forget. Was there anyone who had, there was someone who left worry free, right? Wasn't there someone who was able to leave or something?
I don't think so. That there were
I feel like there's someone who mentioned it, but it
maybe.
wasn't Danny Glover's character, was it?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I could be misremembering.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, somebody remind us. But I
Yeah,
can't.
because we're not sure, but because yeah, I don't remember what all like. I don't think they explicitly. Well, I think what it was probably a case of I don't think they explicitly said you can't leave once you sign up, but like you've given up all your possessions, you're not making any money, you can't leave. Basically, there's no way to start another quote unquote normal life after you've gone into worry free because you don't have any possessions. You just have the jumpsuit they give you and the food they give you, 2 or 3 times a day, and your cot bed that you share with a bunch of other people.
See, I kind of took it as they were signing away their lives. But
Hmm.
I think your interpretation is just as plausible.
Yeah, like yeah, either way, because whether there's a legal contract or not, they can't leave because there's no way for them to get any money to them to get another home, a car, anything. Without when you start with nothing, it's hard to get something, and that's why bootstrapping doesn't work, kids.
Mm-mm.
We bash capitalism on this podcast, unchecked capitalism. I'll make that clarification.
Correct.
Bootstrapping don't work. I
Seth,
can confirm as a
yeah.
bootstrapper. But yeah, man, it's what a wild film. I'm trying to think. There's so much. Oh, okay. So the most uncomfortable scene in this film,
Oh,
you
the
know,
rapping scene.
yeah, even more uncomfortable
Yeah.
than the horse dicks by
Oh
far.
my gosh.
I
I wow. Well, okay. So I mean, it starts off bad because he's like, "You're a black guy. You can rap, and not only can you rap,
You
even though he
will.
said he couldn't, you're going to rap in front of my party." And
All white
then,
people.
like a scene straight out of a University of Alabama Greek
Sorority
organization.
video. Oh God. Get right.
Just wow. I can't even I
And
can't
then
even
when
wrap my mind around that.
yeah, that was I remember being in the theater and just like I hate the word cringe. I hate the concept of cringe.
Yeah.
My soul just cringed. And I was like, oh God. It was painful, like especially because like there's just so like people much smarter than us, I'm sure, could do a very deep dive of the implications of that scene. But like between he was forced into that, he was trying to rap, but no, even though like he had made it very clear he didn't know how to rap, he wasn't good at it. He tried, he was failing, and people were like starting to like be like, I don't know, man, you're pretty shitty. It's like, even though he had said he didn't know how to
Even
rap.
though he didn't want to do it in the first place.
Yeah, he was forced into it,
And
failed at it.
the guy who was telling him he could rap and needed to rap was starting to get angry at him for not being able to do it.
Yep. And then not only the fact that he rightfully assumed that just doing that would maybe, I don't know if it was that he assumed that would work or if it was I'm out of options. Maybe I think probably a combination of both. And then this all white crowd not only vibing and jamming with it, but repeating it even louder and more enthusiastically than him. Just like, oh my God. There's a lot of commentary that can be made about how white people try to appropriate rap culture and do it badly and offensively.
See, my mind just jumped immediately to that news story about the Bachelorette Hannah Brown shouting the N-word at a club, like singing along with the song, but like just like all of these kids clearly just having no, or I guess not even just having no cognizance of what they're doing, but just like not thinking that there's anything wrong with it.
Well, the thing is, I think there's like, especially in that scene, like it's almost like more than just them not thinking there's anything wrong with it. Like ignorance is not okay at all, but the fact that they were just so excited about it, like they was more than just ignorance. They were excited to say it. Like they were happy and like wanting that excuse to say it.
Yeah, agreed.
Like I remember I went to a Kendrick Lamar concert a few years ago, and this actually made the news. Is that he was calling up on he called up a couple of people to like rap along with him for a couple songs, and this one very very white lady came up and immediately like it would rap the song and immediately rap the N-word. And then the crowd had a mixture of reactions, and then Kendrick was like, okay, hold up, like you know what you did wrong, right? Like, nah, like let's not. Like, I'll give you another shot, but like, I know you're rapping along, but like, skip that one, skip that line. And she was like, okay. Music started back up immediately. She said it again, and he was like, nope, get the fuck out, and then just died. Like he was like laughing about it, but like a lot of people were understandably angry, including myself. Like, that's not okay. And then like people like tried to defend her. That went like viral, and people were like, it's part of the song, okay? It's like, okay. But she did it again. Yeah. She did it twice after he called her out on it. Like, she shouldn't have said it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave her another shot and said, hey, don't do that. Chill out. Try again. Like, again, there was no, ignorance was not an excuse there anymore. You lost the right to ignorance, which, again, is not excusable anyways. But you lose even that excuse because she did it again. Mm-hmm. And, like, it's the same thing in that scene. I think that scene demonstrated that very, very well of how fucking racist a lot of white people are. And like how like they'll like try to defend it and
newsflash, there's a lot of racist white people.
Yeah, it's fucking bad, dude.
I mean, we don't even need to get into that.
I mean, I think the statement stands for itself.
I mean, I mean, whiteness at this point is kind of like inherently racist.
I don't think it has to be. I think it's been twisted. There's just so many shitty ass white people that it's just not enough white people realize how prevalent it is. Like there's so many people who'll be like, oh, I'm not racist. And it's like, okay, even if you're not, which you might be, but even if you're not, let's just assume you're not. Like you need to be aware of the people around you that are and how the system is built that does impact minorities negatively.
There are so many things that you do well, that like pretty much everybody does, that is racist, and that you need to acknowledge is, so you can try and combat the problem.
Yeah, like if you're not aware of the or rather, I feel like at this point, if you're not aware of it, you're kind of sticking your head in the sand.
Yeah.
Like you're choosing to be ignorant. If you're not aware and you're not actively at least just trying to do something and speak out in some way, or even just saying, hey, I support I support Black Lives Matter, or I support like people trying to like make better lives for themselves. If you can't even do that, like you're part of the problem. Even if you're not, you can say like, oh, I'm not going out and committing hate crimes. Okay, but you're allowing the people that do those overt acts of racism to still have a voice and still have a presence. Like you're enabling them, and you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
And that's not okay. Like you need to educate yourself. Like even if you can't claim ignorance anymore. Like I mentioned earlier, you can't. You've been told. Kendrick Lamar told you your problem. He's given you another chance. Take the chance. Educate yourself. We love we love these rants. We love the good old Phillip's political rants. That's a new segment. That's another thing. It shouldn't even be a political thing. It's, I think we should.
It's not a political. It's not a political thing.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You would think that treating everyone with human decency and respect.
It's like coronavirus. It's not a political thing. It's just people are treating it like it's a political thing.
Yeah, it should be human fucking decency, no matter what side you're on anything else. We love it. So yeah, fruit.
Fruit is pro fruit.
We're going back to fruit.
Well, so it's not my kind of movie. Just like it's not the kind of thing that I would go out of my way to watch, and I don't think I'm gonna go out of my way to rewatch. But there was a lot in this movie that I liked, and there was a lot that like I could appreciate.
Yeah, for me, it's very much my type of movie.
I'm aware.
I love that wacky ass shit. Yeah, like I love very weird shit, out there shit, and I love shit that has a message and that isn't afraid to go all out and say that message. And Sorry to Bother You does that in spades. Sorry to Bother You doesn't pull any punches. It goes all the fuck out. And to a point where like you do feel uncomfortable at times, like with the rap scene. And the movie wants to make you uncomfortable, and it wants to get under your skin. And for me, movies that get under your skin, like even if like you yourself don't like you don't like that feeling, but a movie that can make you feel that is a powerful film. And like I think people need to I like when people can appreciate that, like, okay, even if like this movie, like I don't know if I ever want to watch this movie again, but man, it made me feel shit. And that's why I don't want to see it again, because it made me feel shit. That's why most people won't, for different reasons, but it's why a lot of people won't rewatch Schindler's List. If a movie can make you feel these powerful emotions, you don't want to see it again, but you also love and respect it for it being able to do that so powerfully. So a huge fan of Sorry to Bother You. I think it's a great film, very powerful messages, and it's wacky as fuck, and I love that. More movies need to randomly in the third act drop some horse dicks on you.
Well, hopefully not on me.
It's 3D.
Oh no.
It's smell-o-vision.
Oh, bad take.
Tell me you don't want to take a good whiff.
Anyway, speaking of horses,
I am Sorry to Bother You. All right, Seth.
Yikes. Okay.
Wait, what's your surprise? Even though I know what it is.
I hate you. That's the surprise.
The surprise is I've hated you this entire time. Podcast over. Hey, we made it to 12 episodes.
We did. That's far enough.
That's enough. Hey, our podcast will be 18 when it's time to vote. Our podcast will be old enough to vote.
Hey, hopefully.
That's how that works.
I shared you the link.
Okay.
All right. So what Phillip just listened to was a song that's kind of more of a spoken word song, more of a poem set to a track called "I'm Thinking About Horses" by Mansions. What
Yeah.
did you think, Philip?
Well, so you've shown me this before.
Yeah.
I also absolutely called that you're gonna show it to me today. As far as sorry to bother
Okay,
you.
but only because I was like, oh, well, you were talking about some like the horse people, and I was like, oh, so our secret topic does have to do
Yeah,
with
it's like what?
sorry to
It's like I
bother
was like,
you.
I know you, and I
Yeah,
know your relation to horses, so it's this song.
I'm actually
Um,
scared of horses. I don't like them.
oh, I rode horses as a kid. I learned to ride a horse.
Well, I've ridden a horse before, and like it's not like an irrational fear. Like I'll
Mhm.
go up to one, but they like make my skin crawl. If like
Huh.
I'm if like I'm I don't know how to describe it. It's
But
weird.
Seth, they're so goddamn regal.
So goddamn regal.
So yeah, this song is. This is only like this is what I imagine. Like someone on acid is talks like
Yeah.
their mind works like they're just bouncing around to all whatever random thought pops in their head, and like and some of the transitions are fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this was supposed to be deep, but like it's mostly funny because like yeah, I've been thinking about sex. I've been thinking about horses.
Well, it's so sudden. I'm thinking about horses.
Like, all right, if I'm gonna like try to actually overanalyze this,
Well,
I would think that like he was lying to her and thinking that like saying that like oh I was thinking about sex, but in reality he wasn't. He was thinking about horses because that his mind is beyond that. Like he just didn't want to actually tell her how his mind actually worked. He wasn't ready to open up to her like that.
well,
But also it's just fucking silly.
I think there could also be like a commentary on his like ADD or something.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, for me, the funniest transition has got to be maybe I'm gay. I'm thinking
I'm
about
thinking
that.
about dad. It's like no daddy issues,
Oh,
no.
that's problematic.
We all got some daddy issues, right? Right,
Touche.
right, 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 guys.
Uh, uh,
I'm thinking about horses.
well, I mean, that's kind of the weird thing is this is a strange song, and a mutual friend of ours, Blake, actually showed me this song a few years back, and I just thought it was the weirdest thing I'd ever heard in my
And
entire
now you
life.
keep spreading it.
Well, and I saw it another place, and I listened to it, and then just because I thought it was funny, I kept on going back to it, and at a certain point, I stopped listening to it because I thought it was funny. And so, like, I stopped listening to it ironically and started like actually enjoying it.
Just like
Uh,
Taylor Swift.
I well, and I mean like it's deep. Like the I mean the stuff he says is funny and he says it in a funny way, but like it's real. He's talking about how are people gonna remember him when he dies and like the way he interacts with other people. I think it's interesting the way he sort of gauges, success. Because at the end, or when he's talking about death, he's like, I'd make it into the news. Probably not the New York Times, but probably the Detroit News at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, I like to think I'd make it into the news journal.
I might make it into a random Reddit post.
I, well, I did find out recently that my great great grandfather, his death was in the New York Times because
Really?
he was just like a big public servant. It was like a back page thing, but
He
I thought
made
that
it.
was interesting.
Still
Yeah,
counts. It's interesting is this is Mike Posner is the guy,
yeah.
right?
It's
The
it's a really
Evizia and
well
Cooler
known
Than Me
guy.
guy. Yeah, because like I knew him for Cooler Than Me and Pill and Evizia.
Yeah,
And then you showed me this, and you're like, ah, Mansions. And then I looked it up, and it's like, oh, Mike Posner's like the singer on this. It's like interesting.
You do not expect that. And I mean, it is kind of, I guess, thematically in line with those other two songs, but it is also starkly different.
I don't think this is anything thematically like cooler than me. Maybe Pill.
Well, I mean, it all has to do with sort of being wrapped up with fame and, you know, kind of questioning one's reality around them. Cooler than me in a different sort of sense, but I guess kind of.
I think I get what you're putting down.
I don't know. I'm also, I could just be stretching here.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but like I can see it with Pill, because Pill very much felt like a kind of an analyzing of his life. It's still poppy and like wanting to get hits, but like it was a little bit more of a retrospective, introspective of, you know, his success with Cooler Than Me. Like I think he directly references Cooler Than Me in that song, and like how it affected his life and how he should have handled the fame better and stuff like that. So like I can see that thematic tie-in with Pill and Ibiza. Cooler Than Me,
Ibiza.
Ibiza, well, whatever. Ibiza?
Ibiza, yeah.
Ibiza like that, man.
I took a pill in Ibiza.
All right, well, I am pro fruits.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's. I mean, I'm never gonna listen to this on my own time. Like, it's weird. It's not really my jam. I don't.
If you do, let me know.
I highly doubt I will. Like, I've only listened to it twice, both times because of you. It is funny. Like, I love I've been thinking about horses. They're just so goddamn real. Like I like it's a weirdly quotable song.
Why the fuck do they listen to us? They just let people climb on top of them and tell them where to go. Is that not exactly what we do? Is that not exactly what we all do?
I hate that you know the lyrics so fully.
Well, no, I have definitely gotten to a point where I can quote most of the song.
Weirdly, kind of similar thematic themes to Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
Why did they let us ride on them? Isn't that what we all do?
I'm Sorry to Bother You was inspired by I was thinking about horses.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna look up any sources to prove you wrong or dis wrong. I think you're right. You know,
it just feels right. You know.
We'll completely discount the creative, imaginative brain of Boots Riley.
Correct.
God.
Sorry, Boots Riley.
Boots Riley, you're a very talented filmmaker. Keep making things.
I do wanna comment on like sort of the strange way the song ends, because it's going sort of the way it does, and then all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere with a
fucking like foghorn.
Like a foghorn.
Yeah. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. It caught me off guard this time too. It did the first time you showed it to me as well.
I've gotten to a point where I expect it, but like it is very jarring, particularly the first
turn my audio down.
You hear it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of like why? Like it was so like relatively chill up to that point, and just
I feel like there's some sort of symbolism there, but I'm not qualified to comment on it.
Well, we'll ask Mike Posner when he's on next week's podcast.
He's actually our guest for next week.
Yeah, our first guest is Mike Posner.
We're happy to have him. Great addition to the Brute Neighbors team.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Welcome to the
neighborhood. Someone tweet our podcast at Mike Posner.
Oh my gosh.
Do it. Get us some attention, Mike Posner. Hey Spencer, tweet my. Jesus, what would that be like if Mike Posner listened to this podcast?
We'd get a lot of unneeded attention way too quick.
We're not ready for this.
We aren't ready for this kind of fame. Have you listened to our other stuff?
we're still working out the kinks. Okay, we just got a profile picture on YouTube. Like Jesus,
It's true. Philip yells at me for my kinks.
what?
Nothing. Nothing. I was trying to make
Oh.
a joke.
It was so late though.
Never mind. Okay, I don't know why I even bothered.
Seth, do you want to talk about your kinks? Are you okay? Do we need to discuss this on the
I don't want
podcast?
to. You know what? This is a perfect time. Actually, I was wondering when you'd bring it up.
Next week's podcast, kinks. Oh God, I've been
Anyway,
thinking about
I'm
horses.
pro. I'm thinking about horses.
I'm neutral. It's quotable. I like songs that I can quote. I'm never gonna go out of my way to listen to this, but I like quoting. I'm thinking about horses. It's just a really good out there, like what the fuck quote. So is maybe I'm gay. I'm thinking about dad. That's a
Well,
little bit more
okay.
problematic and
I've
circumstantial.
actually used this as a prompt for my own writing in the past. I'll be like, I'm thinking about blank, and I'll use that to just kind of like free write.
Yeah, they're so goddamn regal. Their muscles ripple.
Like waves on an ocean.
In a little ocean, I have the lyrics pulled up on my laptop.
I'm so sorry.
Fake fan, Mike Posner. Yell at this man. I know you're
No,
listening.
Mike, mansions. Mr. Mansion.
Well, Mansions is the duo. It's a duo.
So he's one of the mansions.
He's the one on the left. Oh God, he's the one up on the hill. Real nice driveway. Has some horses in the front yard.
I would expect nothing less.
All right, yeah, it's fine. That's my thoughts on it. I'm neutral. I'm thinking about horses. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Should we spin up the wheel?
Yeah, I think
And
it's
by
about
wheel,
that time.
I mean random list randomizer.
Let's do it.
All right.
Ring that bell.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
Ring my bell.
And this is the part of the podcast that I will edit down to be shorter. Ha ha ha. Spooky.
Ring my bell.
Ring my bill. Bill.
Ring up my bell, good sir.
Check, please. Waiter. Check, please. Ring my bell. Bell. Ring my bell. That's actually our theme song.
That has a lot to do with Brute Neighbors.
Yeah. There's a bell in the neighborhood.
It's the school bell.
Ding dong, ding dong.
School is opening up again.
Oh God!
All the children are gonna get coronavirus.
They sure are. All right, so our first topic for next week is going to be state quarters.
Yeah.
Exciting, thrilling content.
Oh yeah.
And then our media topic for next week is going to be general, but okay, folk music.
Okay. Yeah.
We can maybe work with that. I don't know a lot about folk music, so Seth, you'll need to give me a shopping list like I did with you for grunge.
Will do. I'm very excited.
I'm terrified.
It's gonna be great. He's gonna have a great time.
Will I?
Yes.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah, tune in next week for state quarters, folk music, and hey, it'll be my turn again for random subject of the week. But what misery will I inflict on Seth? Tune in next week to find out.
I'm probably gonna cry.
I hope so. That's
Tune
the
in
goal.
just for that.
I'm gonna make you cry, Seth.
Aww. Okay.
Mwah.
Aww.
But yeah, so hey, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. We have a lot more cooking up for you guys. Eventually, I promise, we will have more than just podcast content on this channel. I promise.
Maybe one day.
One day we will. It's coming. It's on its way. Who knows? Maybe I'll have something up by the time this comes out. And maybe this is all for naught.
Very, very possible.
Thanks for listening, guys. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends, man. Spread the word. Join the neighborhood. We're still doing that phrase.
And welcome to the neighborhood.
It's so culty. All right.
One
Thanks,
of
guys.
us. One of us. All right. Bye,
Love
guys.
you. Bye. Mwah.